Welcome back, everybody. Sunny skies here on Mirage. Map number 2, SKDC taking first map, which was enemy's pick. So on to, or do I have that backwards? I think I had that backwards.
SKDC picked us too, and they won
Okay.
16-9.
All right, so I had it backwards. Anyways, enemy here, on to their map choice. And SKDC, despite having Ruru gone and Ape in, it's looking good. You know, they took out Lunatic, and now with a win over enemy, Ape's not a bad choice, teams.
We'll see what they've got in store for us here. Oh my gosh, Ape yet again starting things out. He's picking up where he left off in that final round. Picks off 2 heads of the enemy players before they can even get into that site. Ryu is going to find a kill onto the man CT Ram. That was Ape, who was just going, basically his namesake, going Ape. You've got Anomaly on catwalk right now. He's kind of forcing Slemmy to stay in mid, and that is going to buy his teammates in the A bomb site some time, and you can see just how that worked out. Now it's down to Ocean, a setup that probably should have been so much better for SKDC, but countered wonderfully by the side of enemy. Ryu just dancing around the box right now. He knows that this player has to force the issue. He's going to find a kill and get a banana 5-7 for his troubles. So now enemy picking up the pistol round. I don't remember if in that last map did they lose both pistols? I think they did.
I'm not too sure. It was either that or 1-1. I'll let you do the research, the hard work. So SKDC here going for the double scout force buy after losing the pistol round, and enemy going with 2 rifles or 3 rifles, a couple SMGs. See how this pans out. I assume it'll be a second scout playing the jump spot. So yeah, Ocean's gonna get tested here. He's got to hit some headshots with this scout, and this is gonna prompt enemy to back off. Yeah, so they see the scout, they realize it's a force buy from SKDC, then they back off. They're going to play some information, try to get some positioning at mid. And mid is always the spot I like to see C teams go on their anti-eco. Even if the CT stack it, the positioning is really good for the Ts. So they send 3 up mid and still have these 2 players outside of B. Are they going to commit onto A? This might be unfavorable for enemy here. They don't have all their players grouped up together. Now they are eventually stacking up, trying to take in connectors. Stewie2K peeks out. Can he get a second one? Only gets 1, but still SKDC with 3 players in the site, and enemy don't seem to be backing off.
They seem bloodthirsty right now. They want these kills, but it's not working out. Else and Slemmy combined for 2 quick kills, and now it's on ZNF and Anomaly here. A 2 versus 3. That's going to be Anomaly coming up from him. Wow, the blood spraying in each direction there. It actually came down to a 1 versus 1 essentially, but with the back turned, it was an easy kill there for the last man standing in ZNF. He's going to get an AK, so that's going to be some money saved, but a very sloppy anti-eco round there from enemy, and pretty solid hold from SKDC despite the fact that they did lose the round. They did a lot of damage to the money on the T side. However, they're going to be able to buy those MAC 10s this round. It's going to be armorless opponents, so if Kusta and Uber can find some frags, they'll be able to build that money back up, and that's just what the SMGs are doing for the current gameplay meta.
1 player.
And look at this, they're actually executing onto B. Have my wishes been finally fulfilled? A team that actually makes their way towards the B bomb site, and it's not an eco round.
Right, crazy stuff. So, taking to B here, put it in SKDC's head that they're willing to go here with 5 men. They do have 1 player watching their flank though, so if SKDC buy up majority P250s, and doesn't look like they're gonna be able to get much out of them. Anomaly on the flank here with 1 trade though by L, so a little something out of this round for SKDC. And now with these MAC 10s, they haven't, I'm not sure either of them have gotten a kill, only Uber, so not really worth it to go for the MAC 10 for Kusta, at least, unless they can get some kills. Kusta does make it worth it, so at least they made their money back with these MAC 10s, and then a little more, so they're going to throw these down next round. And now with the first gun round, SKDC, it's good that they picked up that AK, allowing one of these players with under 2,000 money currently to get some more utility. And now on to the first gun round, and SKDC with that force buy is going to have to go with a couple players with either FAMASes or no utility.
Oh, Stewie. Stewie bought up. I don't know why. You can see there's 1 player sitting at 1650. That's going to be Ape. They had that AK saved. They could have easily tossed it to him. Instead, he forced himself up, and he's got a little bit, maybe not a little bit weaker of a buy. I mean, he's still got the double flash and smoke, but he bought like right away. Like, he had no time to discuss it with his team. Maybe a little bit foolish there. just kind of getting a little too aggressive with his buy. Look at this execution right now from the side of enemy. Nades and flashes just pouring out onto that A bomb site. It's like a ballet of overlay. There's a man right in front of that cute box in sight, and it's going to be Stewie. And oh my gosh, Stewie goes nuts. Gets one, gets two, gets three. Kusta finally responds, but he's going to go down. And what looked like a beautiful take from enemy falls apart. Compliments of one player. And now it's on Anomaly in a 1 versus 4. 50 seconds left. There is no way SKDC will let him save. He's got to go for this, and I just can't see him coming out the other side with a victory.
Yeah, it's unlikely in a 1 versus 4, of course. It's the first one without trading out too much of his HP. Doesn't have the bomb, though, so SKDC can just hunker down, sit everybody on top of this bomb, and force Anomaly to make the first move. So Anomaly gonna watch his flank, maybe save his AK. Still unsure what to really do here. His team will have enough to go for a force buy. A couple players can AK up, so I wouldn't mind Anomaly just trying to strip away a few weapons, and then Anomaly can try to get the momentum back by going for a force buy in the next round. SKDC, good on them specifically, 2K to hold off enemy's A take, because if they would have dropped that one as well, that would have been 2 very important rounds that enemy had taken on the A-bomb site. First one would have been pistol, second would have been gun round, and then the A-bomb site is seemingly weak at that point. So SKDC shut it down, surviving with 3 players and no force buy from enemy here. A couple Tech 9s and heading straight back to the A-bomb site. They do have enough to go for the smokes and flash bust. Are they going to be for double connector, or are they going to go 1 CT and 1 connector? Not too sure yet, but now just about to execute. Good nade being thrown over the top by Ape, catching Ryu, who is trying to set up for the A bust. Now here they come. SKDC tasked once again with holding this A bomb site. This time enemy gets the opening frag though. Slemmy comes around the corner. That's one. He lines him up. And a similar situation to last round. SKDC with another good A hold.
They just can't seem to get the duels to go their way. Now, I know that was an eco round, but they did find a rifle. They had players exposed for a long period of time in a spray duel. They just couldn't get the kill onto the CT player that was holding down from jungle. They got that opening frag in the man underneath balcony, but I don't know if they had the smoke for jungle or if it misplayed or what the plan was. They did have a smoke or two, and it looked like they smoked CT to get the bomb down, but that never happened because they took those duels and lost them early on. And here we go again with the aggression from SKDC. They're going to be punished by Ryu, taking down Stewie 2K early, but a nice nade up mid from Catwalk that's going to drop Kusta down to 33. He's found his way behind the box, though, and he has that scary rifle, the AWP. He's watching window right now. Little does he know there's a man right on the other side of that box to his right. That's going to be Else sitting very aggressive on Cat. He's going to see that nade come out, but Kusta with the jump peek, he's going to spot him as well, so he's going to know not to peek now. That's going to force Else to drop back a little bit as position has been given away. Slemmy down to 13 HP here, but Kusta still heavily lit. He's going to be very limited in what he can do for his team right now. Else, oh, he's going to walk right into the scope of Kusta, and that's going to be a big frag. That's going to open up a possible path to that B bomb site. Slemmy in window, he's smoked out. Ape is now smoked down in connector as well, so it looks like it is going to be a B play, so that means Ocean is going to have to go ham sandwich here, as he's the only man in B before the rotate comes in.
Yeah, Ocean up to bat. He does have a teammate along with him now. That's Slemmy winning the duel against Kusta with the AWP. Now still trying to bust in. Slemmy can't hit the second shot, and Ryu with the opening frag onto Ocean. Suddenly the advantage drastically turns in enemy's favor. Now just Ape 1-on-3. He's going to go for it, and he is going to lose it. So enemy taking their 4th round, and with Ape going for that in that situation, they would have been able to get a decent force buy out of this. They would have been able to drop Slemmy. Ocean, of course, would have had to go with the pistol or some other weapon. Not going to be the case, so we are going to see a save here from SKDC. Nope. No, we are not. That AK could have changed this so huge. Slemmy could have had an AK here. That 1 versus 3 attempt by Ape made this round a whole lot weaker. So now enemy with a big chance granted to them by SKDC to just smash through economy, as they all are under $500 collectively. Oh, enemy just slowing things down, trying to feel out if SKDC is on a force buy or a save. And I like this decision by them to try to take things slowly. Uber trying to make his way out of stairs, and Kusta does take down one inside of the halls. That's 2 for Kusta. Big round from Kusta. If they would have been able to get that trade on in balcony, the round would have been way different. However, Else does get a kill onto Uber, so not out of this yet. But now, in a 2-on-3, they got to make the decision. Do they play 1-1 or do they stack a bomb site? It looks like their decision is just to try to stack onto A here.
And this is a fake, if I've ever seen one, work out so well. Kusta in Palace right now with that AWP, he's forcing the CTs to stay here. And I have a feeling that once the bomb gets planted, they're really in a position where it doesn't make sense for them to go for it because they force bought here. They do not have the money to try and fight this. Ocean, for some reason, decides that it's worth a go. Actually, it looks like he's going to back off, maybe just go for some extra frags here. He's got the Mag 7 on Catwalk. He was going to go ladder room, but wisely opts to go towards A. There should be guns in Palace that he can scoop up. I think they realize now that at this point, Kusta is no longer in Palace. So he'll be able to find himself a rifle, save it for the next round. But, I mean, that was really a good thought from SKDC to push their way into Palace. They got the initial kill, lost one, but then Kusta just went lights out and does what Kusta does. And that's going to be scary if you're SKDC. Seeing Kusta start to hit those shots, that's definitely going to make them a little bit more fearful on their mid holds. And that's where Enemy is probably going to shine. Now, what's interesting for me, the last time I watched Enemy play this map, it's the infamous game where they lost their T-side 1-14. So obviously they put some work in on Mirage, feeling much more confident, and this should be a potentially easy round as there's only 2 players with rifles in Ocean and Else.
And they're not going to force buy on top of these rifles, thankfully. And yeah, Kusta, had he lost that duel in Palace, really could have changed the round in SKDC's favor. Now, how can they work these rifles on the SKDC side? There's one down. Kusta onto Else. The only other rifle of SKDC is at the B-bomb site. So if Enemy take their sweet old time and work about, shouldn't have a difficult time taking this round. Ocean trying to aggress into B halls here. Not a bad decision by him. I mean, either stack with your players in A and try to save your weapon towards B. Difficult position for him, and see the patience on display of Enemy. Having this player work up in B, trying to check if it's a stack, just poking his way in, getting as much information as possible before his team executes onto the A-bomb site. And now here they come in towards A. We still have 2 players here for SKDC. It's going to be hard-pressed to get any kills, though. Slemmy goes down to a nade. Yep, everybody dies for SKDC, except for the sole player with a rifle. And now 5 versus 1, the economy of Enemy now grants them to go for this kill without too much harm being done if they lose their weapons. So SKDC now, after losing 2 in a row, I don't think they're going to be able to get an op-out. You're highlighting they might be tentative to get an op-out as Kusta's op is heating up. I don't see Slemmy being afraid, though. I still see Slemmy peeking it against Kusta.
Yeah, more than likely he's going to try and take that duel, and I don't blame him. I mean, he's been playing really solidly thus far, but when Kusta starts getting hot, I mean, you kind of got to play passive. You got to let him come to you. You can't force the hand because he is so strong with the flicks. I mean, his flick shots are just lightning quick, and they're dead on. So I kind of feel like if they're going to put an op in play, maybe play it a little more passively. Don't try to go for that aggressive pick on mid. Maybe sit back a little bit and watch Cat. Put a player, maybe have him jump out window early towards underpass, something like that. Try and go for a little bit of a different hold if you're concerned that they're going to get mid control. But right now, SKDC is surrendering map control to Enemy. You can see they had a player in B way late in the round. That was Anomaly. He was just getting tons of information. He could hear a player running around towards Van. I mean, he saw a player over towards the boxes outside of the left side of window. I mean, there was so much information given, and that's been kind of the story of their T side in this half. They're going to get a nice opening kill, compliments of Uber's AK, and he's actually going to jump through the smoke onto stairs, and that is going to catch Slemmy way off guard. Anomaly finds one as well. It's a fake onto A, and a solid one at that. Yet again, amazing team play here from Enemy. And now the last 2 players for SKDC left scratching their heads as to how this round even came to be. It looks like it's going to be Enemy now taking their 7th round, putting 5 rounds over SKDC. And if you're SKDC, how do you change your hold to kind of combat what Enemy has been doing?
The round that they lost initially on their gun rounds was they went for a mid aggression and they were shut down. They almost got the kill onto Kusta, but then Kusta's buddy was there to trade with the aggressor. Now this round, SKDC tries to take a more passive route and relinquish map control to enemy, which allowed them to set up and then hit that B-bomb site. Good nades, good trade set up by enemy, and the numbers were there. SKDC couldn't find positioning as enemy took into B, and now we see a 7-2. Now tempting position to force buy, as they did save 2, and they are going to force buy here. Stewie2K and Slemmy left with around 3,000 to try to force buy up. Slemmy is going to go for the scout. Are we going to see this mid-duel? Kusta heading mid. He's not going to aggress it. So no SKDC aggression or really map control being attempted. We do have Slemmy at middle with the scout, but that is about it. Fortunately for SKDC this round, enemy is not going for mid control. Ocean starts a soft frag onto ZNF. No trade there for enemy just yet. So now enemy at a disadvantage here. How do they react to it? Still no map control really for enemy besides both Palace as well as Stairs, but that's not too much. Without mid control, SKDC don't have to worry about too much. Ocean has a grasp onto B. It's going to allow them good time to get over there with a rotate as he still has his smoke up. The second he spots somebody, going to deploy that. That's allowing SKDC to stack everybody else pretty much over towards the A-bomb site. They do have one player, Kusta, working up middle here, and now being joined by a second. And this round, enemy, if they can't get these mid or connector players down, then I don't see the other two coming out of A successfully.
Kusa is going to be the key player here with this A to BP. He's coming around connector right now. He's going to spot one out and actually does impressive damage. Anomaly's going to polish him down after peeking. And now he actually goes down. Both players drop in connector. Else, this round is all over the place as they've got Ape pushed up aggressively on ramp. It's going to be coming down to a 1 versus 2, but Ape is singled out right now, and now it's a 1 versus 1. And it's going to be Ryu coming out the victor. So even though SKDC had the round in their grasp, it slips away. And that was all thanks to the way they were set up. They were just too far spread apart when it came down to that last man standing. It's not really a mistake. It's just the way the cards fell. It just seems like things continue to work out for enemy on their T side. Putting up 8 rounds on the T side of Mirage feels good. Putting up 8 rounds when you're only in the 11th feels even better. So enemy definitely put in a lot of work on their Mirage. This is so much better from them than what I saw the last time they played it. I mean, at this point, we could see a 12-3 if things continue the way they're going.
Yeah, and SKDC doesn't seem like they're going to stop force buying at this point. I love the adjustment. After losing the one player over towards B, they slowly take up middle after taking their time, checking if SKDC is pushing anything, and then the simultaneous take into A was the problem for SKDC. If they couldn't get the opening frag onto the players coming up connector, that puts a lot more pressure on the rest of their players at A, and that's why we saw them fell apart in the end, and Ryu with a nice 1 versus 2 to give them the round. Now we see a B push here, and Ocean, can't get the frag onto Anomaly despite having his scope aimed at his side of his head, or not his scope, but his crosshair, I should say. And now more frags for enemy as they slowly converge onto this A-bomb site. Stewie2K needs to come up big once more. Gets the first one, not the second, though. And now settles on a 2 versus 2. A site is in the control of enemy for now.
Oof.
Do not have a smoke. Good flash by Ryu defending. Ape trying to come up into connector. Now if Els can take down Ryu, they are in business. Gets the side of his head. Ryu, can he get the frag? Wow, Els with a massive fail. Now puts Ape in a 1 versus 2. I can't believe he whiffed that.
I could feel the breeze from here on that whiff from Else. That was a huge shot to not come up with. At the same sense, Ryu had a great molly tossed towards connector. Oh my gosh. ZNF is going to get blindsided in sight by Ape. So now it's going to be Ryu who has to force himself into a better position. And this all of a sudden could go back SKDC's way. But the bomb is planted perfectly, and I don't think he has a kit. So it is going to be another round for enemy. I guess maybe Ape just hoping he could find that frag and maybe a kit. Instead, it's going to be another round. And able to save that off as well. That's going to be huge for enemy. Money not necessarily the biggest concern, but anytime you can prevent having to spend that $49.50, I mean, it's going to be $12.50 in your pocket because you're going to go for you're going to drop the AK and go for the op instead. But I mean, these rounds, they somehow come together. The close rounds still go enemy's way. Ryu had a great molly lined up for connector, and he just clipped the pixel on stairs. So instead of locking Ape out, Ape's able to walk up connector. and that's kind of the only reason it came close. So the fact that Else got spotted and whiffed the shot or whatever, it didn't really matter. They both made mistakes, but it was Enemy who ended up winning the round. This round, though, it's going to be SKDC striking first and striking fast. Ape and Slemmy both combining for kills early onto Ryu and Uber. Finally, response from Anomaly, but it's going to make it a 3 versus 4 in favor of SKDC.
SKDC this time not giving away any more advantage to Enemy after getting the opening frag. Saw Enemy come back from deficits before. Now SKDC is slowing things down here, not aggressing anything. Enemy now making their move up towards the middle. Kusta and Anomaly gonna try to make their way up Catwalk. We don't have any players spotting it for SKDC. We have a player at mid, so as long as they stay silent and Ape doesn't peek from connector, we may see them be able to make a move, but Slemmy peeks at the perfect time, triggering Ape to pull the trigger onto Anomaly from connector. So SKDC win another round, but it's way late in the half, already 9-3. Not looking good for them. And they are gonna, whether or not they win or lose this round, gonna be buying out for the rest of the half. So SKDC with the chance here to bring it back to at least 6-9, and 5 rounds is bare minimum. SKDC did have a nice T side on Dust 2, but I don't know if it'll translate this well. Now SKDC going back to their aggressive ways, pushing the player into lower. Anomaly versus Els. Els wins, but ZNF there with the trade. Second part of their aggression. SKDC pushing down the stairs, trades once more. So Enemy, yeah, they lose a player to the push, but their trades are just instant. And great setups by Enemy, limiting the potential of SKDC's aggression.
You know, they're never leaving a player singled out, and that's something that, you know, a solid team will do. They're not going to let players drop all by themselves. Unfortunately for SKDC, they won that round, but they only managed to find 2 rifles outside of their FAMASs, so they had 3 FAMAS still on the board for this round. 2 of the players that died already are players that had them. Maybe if they had a stronger rifle, they would have been able to come up with those additional frags. Instead, they dropped. It's actually going to be Ape using that AK to just completely obliterate Kusta in Palace right now. Nice headshot from him. But now the execution onto the A bomb site is bound to happen, and Ape yet again. He has just been going so big for SKDC. It looks like they're finally going to string some rounds together here. And actually, it could be good that they might have lost a player or two. Maybe they'll be able to get a little bit better of a buy. What I was starting to say was, because they won on the force buy there, it just left them in an awkward situation facing against a full buy from Enemy. But it doesn't look like it mattered. They do make it happen. It was a close one, but at this point, you know, they're force buying because they need rounds. They've already given 9 rounds to Enemy on the T side of a map that should be 9 rounds to their side. This should be a 9-4 in favor of SKDC, not in favor of Enemy. So all of you guys questioning maybe why they're force buying, that's why. They surrendered so many rounds early. They just need to put rounds on the board. Money is not an issue at this point.
So Enemy here, going with Tech 9s. Just gonna get AKs for the next round. Mid-aggression here from SKDC. Gonna go ahead and test Anomaly here. And mid-aggression on what is it's questionable for SKDC if they know the enemies on the force buy or a bit of a save as they are here. So not the best idea to go for the mid-aggression, but works out anyways. Now taking their way into the A-bomb site. No frags for them thus far. Ape going huge once more. Multiple frags this round, just as it was in the last. And Ape showing why he's a good replacement for Ruru here. Success versus Lunatic, and now doing well against... what?
Nice shot.
Hey, I mean, they got money to buy. Why not?
I think he thought it was over. Did he think the half was over? I don't know.
No. If the half is over, the game stalls.
Usually there would be frozen. I know. I just can't understand why he did that.
Money's not an issue. You said it last round.
I guess so. I mean, it is coming into the final round, and they're able to equip a buy nonetheless. But it is just one of those silly things like, well, there's just no need. Nonetheless, Enemy's still able to put 5 AKs on the board.
Just wanted to push him up.
I don't even know. He was spamming Mike over with the HLDJ.
Oh god, thank god that's not a thing anymore.
It is.
Or thank god I don't pub anymore. Alright, so Enemy this round. They do get the first couple frags, 4 on 3. Some early aggression by SKDC doesn't go their way. Minor advantage here for Enemy, and they're deciding whether or not they want to commit onto A. They do rush Uber in, but it's only one man making footsteps. So SKDC, they don't realize this, and they rotate everybody over towards A. Problem being, that is the wrong bomb site. Uber, being a great salesman, bringing everybody towards the A bomb site. But now on a 3-on-3, but great positioning already for Enemy.
Yeah, they're going to be trying to lock down this B bomb site. Somehow they lose Anomaly early to that duel with Ocean. They have to be careful as they have one coming around from Cat. That's going to be Allison. Oh, ZNF getting caught off guard. He's got to be careful. He's got one in window with an AWP. He can't afford to peek him too many times, and you can see he takes that challenge one too many times, and all of a sudden, a scoreline that probably should have been double-digit rounds for Enemy becomes a 9-6. It's still a good T side, so you can't fault them for that. But losing a couple of rounds late there, and a few that really could have gone their way. So maybe seems like the RNG gods have changed sides here and jumped over to SKDC. But nonetheless, 9-6, Enemy looking very solid on Mirage.
Yeah, good by Enemy, but good on SKDC to give themselves a chance in the second half, bringing it to 6, which could have been easily double digits or more for Enemy. Don't forget, this match is brought to you by Alpha Draft. Fantasy betting website, real money, of course, if you'd like to. You could also play for free, but basically you start with a salary, pick 6 players in a team, and test your luck versus anybody else who's playing in said leagues. Got a ton of them. You can play for a penny, play for a nickel, a dime, up to, I believe, a whole lot of money that I'm not willing to bet. But you can do it if you want to, and we'll have it up for our leagues whenever we have 2 or more matches in the NA or EU series. So if you haven't checked that out, I highly advise you to do so. Whole lots of fun. What else we got? Giveaways. If you haven't followed us yet here on Azubu, or if you haven't made an account yet, very easy to do so. Hit the follow button. At 2,500 followers, going to be giving away a Op Man of War minimum wear, I do believe. Also, when we reach 30 subscribers, we're going to be giving away the Op Asimov, and I believe we're only 10 away-ish, something like that. So if you'd like to support us in any way, we really do appreciate it. Via the follow or the subscriber, anything helps. You guys want to show some love our way, but it looks like we are going to be getting into the second half of the match pretty soon here. And Enemy, if they could take both pistol rounds, that's just going to be fantastic for them. On the other side of things, if SKDC can win it, you know, they're right back in it, 9-9. And even though SKDC is down here, I don't count them out of this match at all.
No, absolutely not. They're a pistol round victory away from tying it up. If they can get the pistol, and then they chain together those anti-eco rounds, they're sitting at 9-9, and then the first gun round goes their way, and all of a sudden they're in control of this game. However, it's been pretty much the Enemy show until those last few rounds from SKDC, so I can't imagine that the train is going to stop here. They looked really good on their T side, and anytime you have a team that looks that solid on their T side, their CT side is almost always that much better. So this pistol round has a lot of weight. It's all going to come down to what SKDC decides to do, and it looks like they're going to employ a fake in their first round, which might be a little scary. You can see they've taken the bomb over towards B, 3 players at the base of ramp, and I think they're just going to try and swing the CT side over, but doesn't look like Enemy is going to be falling for that one.
Doesn't look like it at all. Do have still... Were you thinking about going for some mid aggression along with Kusa, but now just going to fall back to the bomb sites, giving up mid for the time being. Enemy, they may think it is an A take. Ryu, is he going to flank A or flank B? Either way, he's leaving a bomb site a little more open than it should be. Opening frag for Stewie onto Kusa. That's 2. That should not happen. Stewie with 2 waltzing his way up into jungle. Finally, Anomaly replies, but A isn't even the bomb site that SKDC is hitting. It's already over towards B. Nice shot by Ape as Anomaly desperately tries to get back into the B bomb site in time. However, SKDC, great fake sold. Now on a 2-on-2. Ape wants more from Kitchen. Uber doesn't allow it now. Els not in the best position here as he does have eyes on the bomb, but he has a Glock. And from range, he's got to hit multiple headshots to finish these 2 players off. Can he do it? Now getting flushed out by the Molotov peak. Just the first one. Trade is there, and he picks up a kit just in time. Nicely done by Enemy. Good recovery because SKDC just, you know, juked him so hard.
Initially, it looked like Enemy kind of had figured out that it was going to be a fake. Based on the fact that one player had aggressed ramp so quickly, it seemed like they were selling the fake very early on. But it was actually more of a passive play. That player dropped back, they went for the fake late, and they totally bit on it. However, the fact that Ryu found a Molotov, that was not an incendiary grenade. He found that on the body of a terrorist. That Molotov changed the round because he was able to molly cat. It dropped Else down to 61 HP. All of a sudden, body shots are taking him down. So It was great play from Ryu. Even though the diffuser did drop, he finds that kit, gets the defuse, and it seems like just another one of those rounds that goes enemy's way based on the odds. I mean, it's like RNG Jesus is on enemy's side right now.
I don't believe in him anymore. But SKDC going for the Tech 9 bust into A. They got great smokes up, and they are getting the trades here. So just cut off from the bomb. SKDC need to get this bomb down safely. Great spam, but no frags from the player inside of CT as Kusta falls as well. So now enemy, do you save in this position? You don't want to give up the advantage, but you are already down a player. And they do only have Tech 9s. I think they're going to go for it. Don't want to give up this momentum here. Good post plans by SKDC as the bomb is planted for lower. They have 2 players here, Ocean in the sandwich, as well as Ape ready to engage with him from the fireboxes. Ape peeks out, gets the 1. Enemy are dropping too many members now, down to a 1 versus 2, just Stewie2K, and now he's gonna spam. Can he find him? Oh, gets the headshot. If he didn't hit the head, probably wouldn't have been a diffuse there. Nicely done by SKDC and a great force buy win.
But a big thing there just happened right at the end. Stewie could not escape with the M4. I know it seems like a small piece of the puzzle. They won the round. It doesn't matter. It's going to be an eco from enemy.
Especially with this force buy.
Money, 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 money. They're going to have to go for an AK buy, and that's $2,700 out of the pocket, plus the armor, plus the grenades. He lost a lot just by dropping there right at the buzzer. So that could definitely help enemy, as now he's basically bankrupt. If they can take this round or even the next, they could really cripple the economy on SKDC again. And we talked just about how important money control was on Dust 2, and it's no different here on Mirage. Look at this push here from the CT side. They've actually pushed all the way up towards Kitchen and B Apartments. It's Anomaly and Ryu. They've got quite a bit to contend with right on the other side of that smoke, and here we go. They're going to push out. Oh, I don't think they're going to peek Anomaly here. He's almost going to get the kill. But it turns out SKDC is going to find the frag thanks to Ocean. So now they're going to have the B bomb side kind of gifted to them here. And it's going to be a 4 versus 3. No kits on the side of enemy. So if they're going to go for this, they have to go fast. Or they might just decide to save, as they do have a scout and ZNS sitting with the MP7 armor and 5.7 and flash. I mean, it's a lot of money. I don't think it's making sense for him to go for this.
Yeah, not at all. Especially you get Kusta with that scout in the next round, and that could change things. And we're going to be seeing a double save from enemy. So why not bring that MP7 into the next round? Kusta here could go for a kill. Doesn't get it. So ZNF, SKDC press any more forward. We may see an engagement. ZNF now getting pincered in. So no MP7 for him next round. But Kusta will get to play with this scout. We're probably going to see him at middle unless Uber wants to take it for himself. I would give it to Kusta if I was him. But anyways, 8 to 10 here. Double save for enemy after picking up pistol, losing the next 2, and going for the force on top of that. Kusta, though, is going to have enough to go for the AWP in this next round if they do win or lose it. And SKDC just going to spread out here. Enemy's not going for any early aggression. However, they do have this A-bomb site stacked, but with the passivity on display by SKDC, stack likely isn't going to work unless SKDC doesn't go for any mid control, doesn't press forward, and then they eventually just decide to hit onto the A-bomb site. Wouldn't be advisable without any information, but that is going to be the case. They're not going to send anybody mid, and this gives enemy a chance.
Yeah, but they're sitting on vanilla pistols here. They've got P2Ks and USPs. It's going to be hard once aim punch becomes a factor. So they really are banking on maybe catching a player off guard and getting an early kill when they're not looking, holding an aid, something like that. Uber is going to get the call that it is going to be an A play, so we'll see what they're able to do with these pistols. I imagine it's going to be a bit of a mowdown. A lot of damage being dealt here. Ape gets caught out a little bit on Palace, but finally finds the frag. They've still got players to contend with. Oh, ZNF tapping away from Sandwich. They have no idea that he's there.
They don't know Kusta's here either.
And look at Kusta sitting in the spot that everyone despises, waiting very patiently, actually looking at the ground to hide his head as well as his barrel on his gun. Uber is going to put out a lot of damage as well. This is totally winnable here. Oh,
Slemmy
Kusta
checks it.
He didn't peek early enough, so that's going to be a bomb plant now for SKDC, but still a winnable situation here. It's going to come down to one scout shot, and that would have been the one had it gone through. But now Uber, 1 versus 2. No kit in hand. He's got to move very quickly here, and he is going to drop. A pistol would have done it, but it doesn't matter. SKDC picking up the round, but a very expensive one for them. They've lost 3 rifles in that one. Doesn't matter. Money is starting to stack up a little bit. And it is going to be a buy here from Enemy. And we will see that big green gun on Kusta. No open play for SKDC. So we'll see if that plays a factor or not, as it's probably going to be Kusta heading towards mid with that off.
In all likelihood, no op for SKDC to try to contest with. Slemmy is going to smoke himself out and try to get to the mid boxes, but no action for Kusta just yet. But I cannot believe Slemmy had the mind to check that in that situation. You'd figure by that amount of time, it's like 20 seconds left in the round, that Kusta would have peeked if he was on the opposite side of Firebox. So Slemmy to peek that, unbelievable. I wouldn't have checked that in 1,000 years. I would have figured Kusta or anybody in that spot would have peeked a long time ago, and that was pretty much the round. So now, Enemy could have had that last one. Instead, now have to take this gun round here, and SKDC very passive. They did smoke out mid, so Kusta doesn't know for certain that mid is clear. Even though nobody's there, he still thinks somebody could be at the boxes. So trying to play it safe, and this gives middle control to SKDC without them even realizing it. So they are going to go for a fake. Going to be splitting onto this A bomb site. How hard does Enemy bite? They are sending 4 players. There are only 1. That's going to be Anomaly still set up at the B bomb site. So now here comes the fake. They still have 1 player posted up inside of the palace. That's Stewie2K. He's got to get some work done. And SKDC, they have to find this trade onto the single player over towards B. Playing by Catwalk, and they get it without any frags from Anomaly. So now a 2-on-4 here. SKDC look to continue their momentum here on the T side.
Oh, nice shot from Slemmy as he flicks his wrist over to that man right in front of the window. Kusta, last man standing. He's going to drop as well. Tie ball game here, 10-10. I mean, after what started out as kind of a landslide here for Enemy, it's SKDC crawling their way back into it, and that play we just saw from them is actually something I saw taken kind of out of the Mouse Sports book. They spoke off the site entirely, and they use that as a way to get all the way up towards window. They can go through connector if they want to, back towards mid. It basically forces a rotate, and then they just walk right through the site and go B. It's a solid smoke take on the A bomb site, and it shows that SKDC knows their stuff. They're going to get an opening kill here on Kusta. That's 2K with the AK-47 in Palace. Or actually, yes, that's in Palace. He's got another player to contend with right around the corner. That's actually Ryu, who's right up on the catwalk or balcony there. He's got 1 underneath. There's a lot of players over here on the A bomb site, but armorless as always. Doesn't matter. Ryu peeks and says, see you later. He's going to hit right in the head and find an AK for his troubles, but it's still going to be a difficult situation here as they're going to start rotating over towards that B bomb site, and you can see Enemy knows it. They're making their way there, but will they have the firepower to stop this push as they've already got mollies and nades raining out from B apartments?
Yeah, Uber's got to hit nothing but heads here on a falling player. Good luck. Distorted hitboxes in this game. Can't hit Deagle midair headshots. Maybe Kusta can, but who knows. Now 1-on-3 with Ryu. Does have his AK collected from a corpse of SKDC. And is just going to go ahead and save this. So SKDC on their T side, after losing pistol round, have been flawless thereafter. And the adjustment from Enemy, I'm not too sure what the best decision is from them, because the round that they lost, the last gun round, I mean, mid control was SKDC faked mid control early by sending Slemmy there, smoked it off, made Kusta think that there could be a player in the box, and then immediately fell off. That one smoke thrown by Slemmy made Kusta fall off and give middle control to SKDC. Now SKDC didn't send anybody up middle, so in theory, that should have helped Enemy with their setup, because the rotates would have been faster. They would have had more players in the bomb sites, but SKDC still won it with a nice little fake out. So I'm not sure what the adjustment is from Enemy, because it was just SKDC winning all the aim duels, and SKDC really don't have to change anything. With this passive setup, Enemy is giving them map control, and yeah, they don't have to change a thing. Just keep going slow.
It seems like SKDC, all they need to win rounds is money. When they can build up their money enough, they take rounds. But if Enemy controls the money, SKDC really struggles. And you can see the second that they can chain 1 or 2 rounds together, it's SKDC looking very solid, because they start to build up their economy, they get those auxiliary grenades, they get the confidence, they start playing very aggressive. And they can't really do that if they're in a situation where they're constantly force buying. So it's going to now be them taking the lead 11-10. That is the first time this entire game they have had the lead. So it comes all the way here in round number 22. And this is a big one for Enemy. They need to shut this down, or it could be a 2-0 victory for SKDC, as that'll put them at 12-10. The money will be pretty much in pieces for Enemy. So this is a big hold over on the A bomb site right now. They've got players making their way out, but it's actually going to be Kusta who strikes first. Finally, that AWP coming into play yet again as he takes down Stewie2K, trying to make his way up ramp. There's man in Palace right now. That's actually Else trying to find their way out, but not able to do so just yet. And there you go, he's going to drop, but it doesn't matter. ZNF and Uber locking down the A bomb site, firebox and balcony control, and it's going to be Kusta getting that last frag onto Slemmy over in the connector. And that was a big round, like we said, but they're not out of the woods yet because the money on SKDC has gotten astronomical, 5 figures on Statutory Ape. I mean, what do you do when you have a team that's got that much money? You just chain rounds together until you can break it. And they've got to win probably one more before they can put SKDC into an awkward situation with their money. But they can't allow a bomb plant because that's going to change things entirely. So this has to be another lights out round from Enemy to try and bring this back into a more manageable situation.
And just to talk about that last round there, Slemmy was waiting for the rotate for so long. He's thinking, you know, where is everybody trying to rotate from connector? But Enemy, with forfeiting mid control, as I highlighted before, it gives them an advantage at the A-bomb site because then they stack that site and they don't bring anybody from mid, so no rotators to collect for Slemmy. And this weird situation working out for Enemy. Their really passive setup ends up helping them, and if SKDC can identify this, they should have a nice mid to B split if they do recognize that is. So this round do have some Hall's aggression. Right on the other side of the smoke is Anomaly, as well as SKDC with Stewie2K there. So SKDC going to fall back and throw their fake. No, this is going to be a take, as they have 3 players, including the bomb, outside of A. And this is opposite. Usually they have the bomb over towards B when they execute this, so it may be the A fake and then they fake towards B, but they throw a bit of smokes and flashes over towards A, and then they have their mid players trying to take in. This is looking really strange from SKDC, because normally when you do this, you have your mid players engage faster if you have more than one there. So now they take it slower. It's not as chaotic of a round for Enemy, and they're going to be able to hold this. That's just strange from SKDC there.
Oh my gosh, the ragdoll physics on Ape there. I switched to Kusta's point of view. He was scoped up from Palace, and I couldn't help but giggle. Actually, he was scoped up from Ticket Booth as the body of Ape just flew across the bomb site after getting shot in the side of the head. It was definitely a little unorthodox there from SKDC. When the way they took that, they basically eliminated their players in connector from being able to help because they smoked out jungle. And while that's normal for an A take, if you have players coming from a connector, they can't really do anything if there's CTs in sight, which there were. The counter to a smoke take on the A bomb site is letting your player CT fall off and putting players in the bomb site to try and stop the push, flashing out, delaying, mollies, whatever you can do. So now the money on the T side is really not in great shape. You need those smokes and flashes to take, but it doesn't seem to matter as they're going to open up with the frag. Else is taking quite a bit of damage here. Actually not much at all, somehow on the edge of that molly, able to survive. This is impressive work from SKDC considering the fact that they came into this round with very light grenades, and it's already down to a 2 versus 4. This is what SKDC has been doing all game, just playing that speed play, not letting enemies set up. And I'm amazed that Enemy still is not prepared for it.
And now just Kusta remains here. And I don't think that's the only thing they've been doing. They've been doing a good job switching it up, mixing their A bust in there constantly. Yeah, Enemy unable to hold the A take once more. And now on a force buy for them. Really staggered with their money, this Enemy. So are they going to force up with one and just have a guy go with the pistol? Okay, they are going to get everybody with weapons. Lacking a lot of flashbangs, however. So one of the speed plays might be effective from SKDC. And are we going to see a B bust on a gun round? I bet this just puts a smile on your face, Mark.
You know, I've said it so many times when I watch Mirage play. I feel like B is the place that people go when there's an eco. I never see a buy round come that way. However, this is a bad idea for SKDC. I've seen the holds that Enemy has been putting out on B, and it's been very solid. They're going to put so much damage out early with nades, and you can see 2 players now down to below 10 HP. That's going to be Ape and Else. They're going to have to drop Van. A nice molly's going to force Ryu out of position on Catwalk, but he should be able to come up with the kills, and you can see it was just a slaughter in the B apps, and that was exactly what I expected. The nade play from them, they get very aggressive, they deep smoke, they molly, they nade, they do it almost every round. Enemy is very good at holding B. So I think that's going to be that kind of indication, okay, we should maybe play A a little bit more. And
I want them to go B again.
Yeah, I would love to see that happen again because the hold from Enemy was just so solid. But I imagine that's the kind of thing that's going to tell SKDC, this isn't working, this is a bad idea. A is what's been happening for us. What's interesting is, you've talked about it earlier, they don't really seem to go mid at all on SKDC, and I think it's kind of a mind game from Enemy. They assume that Kusa's going to have the op in mid. I mean, it's kind of the standard. You take your good opper, you put him in mid, you lock down that site, or that section of the map, and all of a sudden map control is in your favor. But if you make them think you're there and you're not, you have map control with very little effort.
I like SKDC going for the A bus once more, and he has shown signs of weakness here, and there's the trade. Maybe isolating the CT spawn player. There it is. Slemmy and Els combining. Oh my god, what just happened? Enemy falling to all these Tech 9s. The prowess on the Tech 9, really difficult to deal with. The smokes and flashes were on key. Enemy couldn't work off of each other. It was a bunch of 1 versus 1s, and the mobile targets of SKDC, Enemy just couldn't hold, and now an eco round or a force buy win from SKDC, and it couldn't have came at a better time, as it is going to even it up 13-13, and Enemy now, they're left with the decision, do we force buy? If Anomaly saves this weapon, they are definitely going to force buy. Problem being, they have 2 players. They have a player with 50, a player with 0, so 2 players are going to have nothing but pistols, and if they don't go for this force buy, it's going to be a double save from them, as they're going to have, what, like 3,400, something like that, if they don't buy anything this round. So if Enemy don't force buy here, SKDC is going to be on to the tie point round before Enemy can muster up a good buy.
Yeah, and it will be a good buy, if you know what I mean. It will be Enemy moving down to the lower bracket because they already lost the first map. They can't really afford to lose a 2-0. I mean, a team that started out so promising on this map, and all of a sudden we're looking at a 13-13 scoreline, and their problem has been the force buys. They can't answer the force buys from SKDC. Even when they were on their CT side, the force buys from SKDC seemed very strong. A couple times they took it close but lost the round, but ultimately that was how they clawed their way back into the first half, was by a force buy. And then they chained a few together, and that was a 9-6 half that should have been 12-3. And we would be looking at such a different scoreline. I mean, this map would be over right now if it was 12-3. So what can you say from Enemy? They don't really have much of an answer for the A site. They try to lock it down and they get obliterated. B seems to be their strong point, but they're not making their way B. They actually are going to get an opening frag this time. It's going to be Anomaly pushing up aggressively with the P250. He's going to spot out Bomb, but they're going to fall back and make it towards the A site because they have control of A. There's a man firebox and a man pushed up jungle. But look at this Uber coming in from Palace. He's going to drop in on Slemmy. So maybe not an A take here from SKDC, as it looks like solid positioning from Enemy could potentially shut it down.
Yeah, this is turning out to be a really strange round. Both teams seemingly had A control for a moment, or they thought they did. Now Ocean on to Ryu, evens it back up 3-on-3. If Enemy could take this round, this would be so fantastic for them. Uber finds the frag through the smoke. 10 seconds left. If they can keep spamming this bomb down, they'll be in business. SKDC have to get it planted. Little do they know, player in spawn. Now just Stewie2K remains. No chance of getting the bomb down. All he has to do is kill both of the last 2 players, which is going to be hard to do. At least he won't go down after the round. So Enemy answering with their own force buy, and now SKDC, same boat. They have to force buy, otherwise Enemy is going to have the tie point round. And are they going to go for the force buy is the question. 2K and 2.9. SKDC
I don't see why
is
not.
going to play for the tie. No, they're not. They're going for it.
I don't see why they would. I mean, their force buys have worked out every single time on the
That's
T side.
true.
I mean, their force buys, even when it's been close on the CT side, I mean, they were really good on the force buys. However, they are very late getting out of spawn because they took their time to come to this decision. So the speed play that worked in their favor on their force buys in the past is not going to be a factor here. They're going to try and play the slow play. I don't think this is a good idea. Now they're walking right into a set defense from Enemy. So it's going to be completely different. And look at the information gained. We've got Ryu pushed all the way up in mid. So that's going to kind of tip them off that, okay, maybe they're playing over towards the A site. Kus is going to cheat out of window and make his way towards jungle and watch Palace. There's 2 players there, so he has 2 easy kills if he can just find a shot.
This position of Ryu, to me, should guarantee that enemy that it's going to be an A take, because SKDC going slow B, no. They got ruined the last 2 times they tried that. So this grants the ability for enemy to stack this A bomb site. SKDC going for another bust here. When Els is likely going to fall to Uber, I love this play from enemy. This mid aggression, and it didn't look like they reacted 100% with the knowledge that they knew they're coming towards A. But if you think about it, with that positioning of Ryu, SKDC has had no success over towards B. Are they going to try it on a round that they desperately need to win, that they're putting all their chips in? No, they're probably going to try their A bust. Just a perfect read by enemy.
Yeah, I mean, that was solid play from Ryu. I mean, a lot of people look at Ryu as maybe the guy who is on the chopping block when it comes to in-game performance. He's the IGL. He's kind of like the Sean Gares of the team. He doesn't quite put up the same numbers as the rest of his roster, but he's got a solid head on his shoulders, and as a result, he makes great in-game decisions, and that was one of them. Pushing up mid gives them so much awareness of what's happening, and it's now going to be a Tech-9 armor buy here for the side of SKDC, and they're going to be walking right into another set defense here. Look at this. Uber somehow on the other side of those mollies, not taking any damage. He's going to push in through the smoke on ramp. He could get spotted out, and he does. He's going to drop to the bomb.
Wait a minute.
Control. How did this happen? A set defense that seems so solid now falling apart. Kukusa in an awkward position with an op. He's going to go down. And now if you're enemy, do you save these rifles? I say it's time to back away. Keep these rifles and try and take it 16-14. Don't force the issue here, because you've already lost so much money to this, again, Tech-9 armor force buy from SKDC.
Yeah, if they lose one more gun, then one of their players is really going to be hurting for utility in the next round. So if they could save these 2, I don't even like them going for exits here. I guess SKDC's money is really low, but if they can, 3 players could drop 2 for SKDC, so it's not going to be an issue. And with ZNF at 2100, I was worried if they dropped 1 more weapon, then the buy would be a little bit weaker from the enemy side. But both teams are pretty much going to be fully equipped, or actually fully equipped, on this last round. So, SKDC, crunch time. Do you go back to A, which has constantly been working for you, or for the most part, on force buy rounds primarily, strangely. Not really, because the Tech-9. Or do you go for a B bust, which you've gotten shut down every single time? Or do you work the mid, or do you work slow mid, which they haven't been doing a lot? So, oh my god, they're just going to bust straight out of A. None of the above for SKDC. It's not going to be a bust. It's going to be a rush, but I guess Els was just going for the quick pick. So SKDC, really for me, their only option is to go for the A play. They are sending 1 player mid, but they don't really know how it's going to go at mid, given they haven't done it very much. They don't know how enemy is going to react. With last time Slemmy went mid, nobody rotated mid from enemy. So they're left scratching their heads there, and SKDC, as called, is just going to go for the A bust.
Look at this position from Uber. He's going to spot out that opening rifle. I think that was the op on Stewie 2K. And it was a great position from him, peeking just over the top of his own smoke grenade. And that's going to give enemy the advantage right now. Bomb is still towards A ramp. They're rotating 1 player out. That's actually 8, but I think he's just going to watch the flank. Ocean in Palace. He does have a rifle walking around with his Tech-9. Not really sure what the plan was there. Still looks like they're going to be dedicated towards A. Maybe trying to play some mind games here with enemy, but they've already wasted 1 smoke grenade. They've only got 1 more on the back of Ape, and they're going to basically rely on pure fragability here. Ocean's going to peek out of Palace, and somehow Kusta does not get the call. Finally peeking, but whiffing the shot, and that's a big one to lose. He's going to get pushed from behind here if he's not careful. He could go down, and he does, through the plywood indeed, in connectors. So now it's down to a 4 versus 4. Enemy really needs to come up with the hold here. They do not want to go into overtime at this point. SKDC has been picking up steam on their T side. Slemmy and Els getting headshots. All of a sudden, it's a 2 versus 4. Anomaly and Uber left with almost an impossible task. A great post-plan position from SKDC here. What do? Uber's going to open up with 1. Gets a second. Anomaly comes around, gets another, and now it's on Ocean. 6 HP in Palace. They're going to stick that defuse. He has no idea it's going to be enemy taking it 16-14. How did that just happen? A map of such chaos ends with a a ninja defuse. I just don't understand.
I'm not. He either didn't get an audio Q via a nade or some. I didn't hear any nades or anything like that. So it must have been he just banked on them getting off the bomb and guaranteeing the trade in a 2 versus 1 instead of a 1 versus 1 with somebody being on the bomb. And he guessed wrong. And they lost the match. The entire match came down to that one decision. God, I love Counter-Strike. Stay tuned for map number 3. All tied up here.